We're counting down the 7 most massive trains ever built, record breakers that push the limits of engineering and redefine what it means to be heavy haul. From mile-long freight giants to high-speed legends, these mechanical titans span continents, shape industries, and hold stories you won't believe. Which iron behemoth still roars to life today? Let's find out, starting with number 7. Stretching across the red heart of Western Australia, BHP's iron ore train stands as the world's longest and heaviest. On June 21, 2001, this mechanical colossus shattered records, measuring an astonishing 4.57 miles, over 7.3 kilometers, with 682 wagons and a staggering 99,734 metric tons of iron ore in tow. 8 massive GEAC 6000 CW locomotives spaced throughout the train and linked by advanced locotrol distributed power allowed a single driver to command this steel serpent over 275 kilometers from the Yandi mines to Port Hedland. To put its size in perspective, the train could stretch across 23 football fields, laid end to end. Every journey demands precision, especially climbing the Chichester Range, where even a single coupler failure can halt the entire operation for hours. BHP's investment in the late 1960s laid the groundwork for this feat, creating a freight corridor that now fuels Australia's iron export powerhouse. Racing out of a tunnel with Mount Fuji rising in the distance, the Tokaido Shinkansen N700 glides across Japan's heartland at 186 miles per hour. Every inch of its 417-foot frame is shaped by wind tunnel trials and intense debate. Engineers weighed the elegance of a long, arrow-like nose against the science of pressure waves and tunnel acoustics. The result is the N700's signature aerodynamic front, a blend of artistry and function. Debuting in 2007, this 715,000-pound marvel transformed travel between Tokyo and Nagoya, shrinking journeys that once took hours to less than 60 minutes. Inside, passengers settle into plush seats shielded from the rush outside by advanced suspension and noise control. The N700 isn't just fast, it's a symbol of national connection, carrying millions each year through the world's busiest corridor, where precision and beauty ride side by side. Iron ore trains thunder through the Amazon on the Carajás Railway, each one stretching nearly 2 miles with 330 wagons and weighing in at around 42,000 tons. Laid out in 1982 and fully inaugurated by 1995, the 892-kilometer line connects the vast Carajás mines to the Ponta da Madeira maritime terminal, carving a path through dense rainforest and across rivers on massive bridges engineered to withstand both tropical downpours and relentless freight. These convoys are the backbone of Brazil's iron export economy, moving billions in ore every year. But the railway's scale comes with a cost. Leaked environmental reviews reveal that indigenous communities along the route have long raised alarms about dust, water pollution, and cultural disruption, concerns often minimized in official reports. Vale, the company behind the line, points to reforestation programs and dialogue initiatives, but internal memos paint a picture of frustration and requests for direct reparations. The Carajás Railway stands as a monument to industrial ambition, but its legacy is written in both economic growth and the contested ground beneath its tracks. Steel rails cross the American West in a lattice of ambition and iron, each line echoing the legacy of Union Pacific. In 1862, Congress chartered the railroad that would unite a continent, launching a race across prairies, deserts, and mountains. Rival crews pushed from both coasts, their work fueled by government bonds and fierce competition for every mile. At Promontory Summit in 1869, the driving of the Golden Spike stitched east to west in a single, thunderous moment. The overland route became the backbone of American expansion, carrying settlers, goods, and dreams across the frontier. Today, Union Pacific's reach is even more staggering. 32,200 miles of track, 23 states, and a fleet of 8,300 locomotives, powering the largest rail network in North America. Modern intermodal hubs pulse with activity, moving everything from grain to electronics in trains that can stretch for miles. In a single record-breaking haul, a Union Pacific freight tipped the scales at 28,000 tons, heavier than any train ever pulled in North America. The company's pursuit of speed and innovation goes back decades. In 1934, the M1000 Streamliner set a new standard, racing at 104 miles per hour. From the clang of hammers at Promontory to the roar of diesels crossing the Rockies, Union Pacific stands as a living monument to the scale and spirit of American railroading. Iron rails cut a lonely path across the Sahara, where the Mauritania Railway hauls its cargo through a world of heat and sandstorms. Each train stretches nearly 3 kilometers, almost 2 miles, pulled by 3 or 4 diesel-electric locomotives and loaded with up to 210 cars, each carrying 84 tons of iron ore. Every year, these desert giants move 16 million tons from the mines at Zouer, Rat, to the Atlantic port of Nouadhibou, crossing a landscape where temperatures soar above 45 degrees Celsius and sand drifts can bury the tracks overnight. In 1978, this vital artery faced its greatest test. Guerrilla fighters from the Polisario Front ambushed a train near Chome, derailing cars and halting the flow of ore that kept Mauritania's economy alive. The chaos that followed left the railway crippled for days, with military patrols and emergency crews working around the clock to repair twisted rails under the threat of renewed attack. Survivors remember patching the line with whatever steel they could find, desperate to get the trains running again. For the workers and engineers, every journey carried the risk of violence and the certainty of the desert's unforgiving elements. Today, the railway endures. Its resilience, legendary not just among miners, but also among travelers drawn by the challenge. Tourists perch atop ore hoppers, faces wrapped against the sand, chasing the thrill of a ride that has claimed headlines and gone viral on social media. The iron lifeline of Mauritania is more than a feat of engineering. It's a testament to survival in one of the harshest places on Earth. Steel threads stretch from the Atlantic to the Pacific, tying together the vastness of Canada in a single, sweeping line. The Canadian National Railway, or CN, stands as the backbone of a country built on distance and ambition. Its 32,800-mile network is the largest in Canada, reaching deep into every province and extending south into the United States, carrying grain from prairie elevators, lumber from northern forests, and containers from bustling ports. The story began with the Grand Trunk Pacific, a bold expansion that pushed rails west from Winnipeg to the Pacific coast. By 1918, after a wave of bankruptcies and wartime strain, the government merged these struggling lines into a single national system, creating Canadian National and setting the stage for a new era. Innovation has always been at the heart of CN's journey. In 1927, the mighty Confederation steam locomotives pulled passenger trains across the country, while the 1940s brought electrification to Montreal's busy corridors. The 1960s saw the debut of the turbo train, a futuristic experiment in high-speed rail between Montreal and Toronto. Though its promise was tempered by technical setbacks, the lessons learned pushed CN toward greater reliability and efficiency. Privatized in 1995, CN now runs state-of-the-art intermodal hubs, with trains stretching up to 12,000 feet, more than 2 miles, through mountain passes and city centers alike. Every day, thousands of cars roll across bridges and prairies, carrying the pulse of a continent. The scale and resilience of Canadian National have made it a vital force in North American commerce, a living symbol of how rails can knit together a nation's past, present, and future. Big Boy 4014 thunders down the rails, a living giant forged in the crucible of American ambition. At 132 feet long and tipping the scales at 1.2 million pounds, this 4884 articulated steam locomotive was built in 1941 by the American Locomotive Company. Its frame was designed to conquer the steepest grades between Ogden and Cheyenne. Only 25 Big Boys ever rolled out of Schenectady, each one tasked with hauling freight across the vast mountain west. Number 414 alone logged over 1 million miles before its retirement in 1961, outlasting the era of steam as diesel power swept the industry. For more than 50 years, 4014 stood silent at a museum in California, its steel heart cold. Then, in 2013, Union Pacific reacquired the locomotive and launched a restoration that would test the limits of modern engineering and old-school craftsmanship alike. In Cheyenne, Wyoming, a dedicated crew stripped the engine to bare metal, fabricating new parts by hand and wrestling with challenges that threatened to halt the project at every turn. In the brutal winter of 2017, a crack in the front driver axle nearly derailed the entire rebuild. Overnight, machinists and welders worked against the clock, coaxing the wounded Titan back from the brink. Every bolt, every weld, every late-night shift was a bet that history could be brought roaring back to life. After 6 years and thousands of hours, Big Boy 4014 passed its final Federal Railroad Administration tests in the spring of 2019. The oil-fired boiler roared, and the great wheels turned once again. When 4014 rolled out for its first mainline run, crowds lined the tracks by the thousands, drawn by the thunder of a legend reborn. Today, it stands as the largest operating steam locomotive in the world, a moving monument to ingenuity, perseverance, and the power of dreams made real in iron and steam. As Big Boy 4014 charges across the plains, smoke billowing and whistle echoing into the sky, it carries the legacy of an age when machines were built not just to serve, but to inspire. From the record-breaking BHP iron ore trains stretching over 7 kilometers through the Australian outback, to the sleek speed of Japan's Shinkansen and the epic iron convoys braving the Saharan desert, every entry on this list redefines what it means to be massive on rails. Across all 7 entries, one pattern stands out. Sheer scale comes in many forms, by length, weight, speed, network reach, or even the ability to endure harsh environments and turbulent histories. Surprises abound, from the environmental challenges of Brazil's Carajás Railway to the living legend of Big Boy 4014, which remains the world's largest operating steam locomotive thanks to an unprecedented restoration. Our ranking prioritized not just physical dimensions, but also operational impact, engineering innovation, and lasting legacy. Together, these trains show how human ambition turns steel, steam, and ingenuity into machines that move economies, connect continents, and capture imaginations. In the world of rail, size isn't just a number. It's a testament to what's possible when vision meets engineering on a truly grand scale.